Were you tying some of those onto YouTube?
Yeah, sorry, I don't understand your question. I'm just making sure it's working.
Oh, no, go ahead. I just had a question for you while you're getting it up and running.
I think we're live. I think we're on.
Okay.
Super. Okay, so you asked me a question about the restaurant video.
I thought a lot of what you've been doing promo wise with the small businesses, as far as the restaurant tours and things like that, helping to push that awareness has been great. And I was curious if you were doing that both on Facebook and on YouTube, similar to what you were saying.
Yeah, so like right now we're live Facebook and YouTube, and I see a couple people starting to watch. Whoever's watching, we can't see who you are.
Yeah.
Because I'm using some different software that looks really cool to me. But you should be able to chat or comment, and we should be able to see your comments, and we can answer questions that you have there. With answering that question, I haven't figured out how to go Facebook Live and YouTube Live with my phone, but I've probably got 10 that I haven't downloaded. I've done like 41, 42, but the first 30 or so I've downloaded them all and then uploaded into YouTube so that there's a library of them there. So
nice.
Yeah, it's kind of.
So how many views did you generate over that? I know that you had some press exposure and some great follow up to for what you were doing.
Yeah, I'm somewhere around 77,000 views on.
That's awesome.
All those restaurant videos. Yeah, I think so, because I think that I know, because I've talked to some of the restaurant owners, I know it's made a difference for some of them. Maybe not everybody, but I know there are some people who have let me know that they have people coming in saying that they saw me and they never thought of trying it. I've got some clients that have said, well, they've come to me from it, which I didn't expect, I'll be honest.
Sure.
But they said that they were just sitting at home eating, and they thought, well, hey, we can still go out and at least do curbside.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things that's been kind of fun is figuring out how to help businesses. And there's been a big push right now too with trying to get businesses reopened. And I just saw Wisconsin actually won, and they're going to be able to reopen. And so that's kind of cool. So I don't know much more about it other than just something real quick that I saw, but hopefully Illinois is not far behind.
Right. Well, and there's a lot of fantastic advocates here locally.
Oh, yeah.
I know that there's a couple different Facebook pages that have popped up and some great input and ideas from people, and people helping people. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. And that's kind of the point. That's why when we were talking this morning, I tried something new, that little Facebook Messenger hangout room, and talking, and I'd forgotten that you did business consulting. And I thought, what better idea than to jump right in and come up with some ideas and share them with everyone, since, we talked about that, and you'd be willing to share some of those. Because, yeah, I mean, Judy got smashed. She got smacked down pretty hard. I understand. I get it. That's the way it's going right now. And, I really appreciate her and her swing for the fences sort of thing. While we are trying to survive and get through these kinds of things, there are things that we can be doing. So as a business consultant, as a business idea generator, what would you suggest, or how would you start with that for people?
Well, I think honestly, the big thing is to generate a circle or a cabinet of friends and people that you know, like, and trust. So as business owners, the key to us surviving is having people around us. And one of the caveats to being a business coach is helping small business owners and helping individual entrepreneurs or what have you understand that you will experience as many or more of the problems and concerns as big businesses. You have the same concerns and problems running a business as a big business does. Where the challenge comes in is having the financial ability to answer some of those situations. So there's a lot of opportunity and avenue to have relationships, and a lot of times they happen with a business advisor, business coach, however you want to label someone. To market my business, we label it as a consultant, obviously, and people get confused by that. In reality, what we do, or what I do, is a business coach. I completely come in and help you work on your game.
Mm-hmm.
It's no different than an athlete. I'm evaluating what you do well, what you don't do well, and I may not have the answers, but I have the connections with people that
Mm-hmm.
can bring you answers. And then the idea is just creating a necessity to help each other.
Yeah. And that sounds, I mean, what you talked about, circling yourself with a group of friends that can support and help you. There is this new thing that I'm trying, that I'm sharing with everybody else. And, some of my competition could grab this at the same time and use it. That's fine, right? I think there's enough room at the top for everybody. And so, something I thought would be really helpful, even for our small business owners, like restaurants and stuff like that. When you're making a post to Facebook, have you ever heard of crowdshare.com?
Not until this morning when you and I discussed it. It's brilliant.
Right. I shared that this morning with you. But what you can do then, and I share this with everybody, it's kind of a best practice or tip. Facebook, you can pay to boost your postings. Well, that gets kind of expensive. And it's whatever their algorithm is, etc. There's nothing better than organic reach. When somebody says, ooh, that's my friend, I like what they're doing, I share it. Well, it's not always easy to remember to share all of those things. So what you can do, they call them influencers, but you can invite people. And if anybody wants to be invited to mine, just download the app. It's crowdshare.com or the Crowdshare app or whatever. And there's just the telephone number at the office is how you get into it, minus the area code. So it's 641-2995. And then when I post things, or when a restaurant or somebody would post things and put it out there, everybody who is an influencer will get a little notification on their device, whether it's an iPad, phone, pop up on their computer, and it'll just say, hey, Jeremy just posted something, or, Consuelo at Maya just posted something, or, any one of my restaurant friends has just posted something, and share it. And you just push it. And then it looks like an organic share from Facebook. And you get all of that extra credibility or street cred in Facebook, and it hits all their algorithms in a way that you wouldn't get it otherwise. And it's supposed to just really go crazy. One of my good friends, Kyle Draper, who does a lot of this insight for selling stuff, this is where I get the idea. He was using it, and I watched an interview just like what we're having with someone who was teaching about that. It looks really slick. So I've got to get a couple more influencers. My goal is 3 a day. Just add them and then just kind of keep posting and doing that. But just little things, tips and tricks like that to help people get a little bit more mileage when you have a special as a restaurant or a business or something like that. I think now more than any time is a time to really try new things. If you're sitting around
Absolutely.
with customers, go, shake the bushes. Let's do something. What are some other ideas that you've got? I mean, you talked about bringing in a sphere for people, and that might be a way to further engage them. What are some other things?
Yeah, some of the other things is just what you're saying is going out and finding the new ways, and a lot of times that's done through networking. So, as a business coach, my first question to a lot of business owners is, what different networks are you in? How are you connected through the community? Are you with the Chamber of Commerce? Are you with, one of the long-time referral groups here in Quincy, Great River Referral? They do a fantastic job, and they're always looking for members. And it's a great word of mouth, kind of a crowd sharing situation like you're talking about. And it gives everybody the opportunity to know somebody, because our businesses, and hopefully people are seeing this through what you're doing with the restaurant program, what the other folks out there that have put together these Facebook pages to help each other. When people understand those connections are very, very important, and when you utilize those connections to your advantage, then it cuts the time necessary to do some of the other things. And I heard a long time ago when I first started getting into business for myself that time is money, right? We've heard that. Well, the actual equation to that is that time saved is worth 2 times the dollar bill.
That makes sense.
Because, so the more time that we can save, it increases the income or the profit. So having people around you that can speed up the process of decision making, can speed up the process of marketing, can speed up the process of efficiencies, whatever it is, that will empower you to do more. And so a lot of times, it's something you tapped on as far as the idea where you said, your competitors can use the same program. And I love your mindset, because if we as people and as business owners continue to operate in a mindset of scarcity, we can never grow. We have to operate in a mindset of abundance, right? So one of the great quotes to that is Rockefeller's quote that said, "Hey, I'll take 1% of 100 people versus 100% of myself."
Yeah,
and if we go ahead.
No, I was agreeing with you. That was active listening. Go ahead.
Yeah. So what that means is, if we spin that quote around as business owners, if we're willing to help somebody put $1 in their pocket while they put 99 in ours, that just propels the boat, right? So the other side of that is that scarcity mindset is like having oars inside your rowboat. You go nowhere. Where abundance mindset is having 100 oars in the water with one person in the boat. You can move like a speedboat. So it's just changing how we think. And then the reason to have this network of people, or there's a great show on TV right now called The Council of Dads. It's fairly new. It's got a great concept behind the storyline. But as business owners, we need to have a council. All big businesses have a board. As small businesses, we need to have a council. But what can we do to provide ourselves that counsel and not cost ourselves money? So a business coach like myself, my job is to save a business money or make them more money, not cost them money. So if you are working with a coach, or you're working with somebody that's helping you, and your feeling is that it's costing you too much money, then you probably have the wrong relationship. It's not that it's not a right idea. It's just not a good relationship. So change the relationship. Find somebody that's going to make you money.
I like what you said too. I mean, that's awesome. All of that's awesome. With whether it's coaching, you're trying to save or help them make more, and if it's costing them, then they're not with the right person. You mentioned a council for small businesses. I've heard that more than once. In fact, before I got so busy and I had to step back because I was doing all this restaurant stuff and everything else, I was involved with, I started a mastermind group here in Quincy, just with a couple of friends, and we would bounce ideas off of each other. And I had lots of great ideas. There were several hard decisions that I had to make, but then I was accountable to those guys. I would get ideas from them, and then they would share their thoughts and their opinions, and I trusted them, and we were able to make those decisions. But I think now would be a great time for every business, right? Every business, but especially those businesses that might be furloughed or have a little bit of extra time on their hands, reach out and they can put together their own mastermind group. If you run a restaurant, hey, like, who would be good fits for a restaurant? Do you want to have 3 or 4 restaurant owners together? Or what if you brought in somebody from the insurance industry, or somebody from who's got a marketing company in town or something else, where you guys can give each other ideas. I think that there is a silver lining in every cloud. And if we really look for them, we're going to be able to find them and come out stronger and better from this. What are some things that you have seen be really helpful as you've been coaching and helping people, specifically on the counsel side? Have you been able to help people create sort of that group, or have they basically been relying on you, or how have you worked through that counsel aspect?
Yeah, so absolutely, as a consultant, my job is to help create that counsel, because while I might know a lot of people, I don't know how to do accounting. I'm not an accountant. I don't do tax preparation. I don't do payroll stuff. I don't do the books, that kind of thing. And at the same time, I don't know the law. Like in the situation many of us are in today, can we open, can't we open? Does our liquor license stick with us or not stick with us? All those kind of things happen, and we have to make decisions. So my job is to create that counsel for a business owner, and it happens quickly in most cases, because there's certain things that they need to have. But to go back to your point about that counsel, a lot of times if business owners will reach out to people and places and things that they don't do, then they can grow, they can get better. So, some of the things I think that I find interesting is I also one of the hats or business roles that I have is I'm a trainer for a national sales company for the state of Illinois. So I travel to Chicago and back and down into St. Louis often. One of the things that I don't see happen enough is the referral group. So in Chicago and St. Louis, you see so many BNI groups and referral groups, and I think that's a big benefit to people, to small businesses, is if people can set aside, an hour a week or 1 hour twice a month, that kind of thing. I think businesses can grow from that relationship. But in thinking about the process or thinking about what that council looks like, find people that don't do what you do. And that's who you want to partner with. So, when you asked about other restaurant owners, 4 or 5 business restaurant owners getting together, that's the association. And there's a lot of markets or companies, groups that have associations. The real estate company has an association locally. The restaurant association was active at one point. So I think associations are good, but when you're thinking about a council for your business, I think the important part is to have that business be surrounded with people that do other things, that do things that they don't do. And then that's where the referrals come from. I know that you bounced off, so I don't know if Jeremy's coming back on, if we're still live, but I appreciate the opportunity to be on here and talk with you all. If it's an opportunity that we can get together, obviously you've got my contact information out there. And if we can be a benefit to anybody here locally, reach out. It's simply a conversation, maybe over a cup of coffee or lunch, or just to get together via the web. I've done a lot of Zoom meetings and web meetings, and this morning Jeremy popped onto Facebook and created a room that people could jump in and jump off, and it created a great environment, kind of an open environment. So the other thing is learning technology. We all have an opportunity to learn some of the technologies that can make our life easier. That's one of the things that has pushed me, is in just a few short weeks, I've had to learn a lot of things that I wouldn't normally ever spend any time on. I wouldn't spend any time learning how to do of live calls. My business and my opportunities were face to face. A lot of times people used to say the business back in the day, the sales business, was belly to belly. I believe more so that it's heart to heart. I think when you find people that you know, like, and trust, and you're willing to do business with, that you can create great relationships in business. So my opportunity is to just tell people, reach out to people that you know, ask questions, or offer suggestions and help, and be open to receive some of that. There's a lot of stuff on Google and Facebook that won't help you. And the only opportunity to be helped is to find people that can connect you with the right people and the right resources to be better. So doesn't look like Jeremy's going to get back on. I know he's popped on to the comments and he's trying. And I hope that this was helpful for you. I hope that there's a lot of things that we can do together in this community, and hopefully we'll make some changes soon. But for now, I'll just say thanks for visiting with us today, and we'll be back soon.
I'm back. Hey, where'd you go, Rich? Oh, just a sec. I'll get Rich back. No. That's hold on. Let me see if I can get Rich to jump back in here. Hop back on. Darn it. I don't know if you've ever experienced the blue screen of death, but that's just what happened to me. I lost everything. It just went. So anyway, I was watching you guys. Rich was out adding some extra information. Yeah, hold on. It did. You can hop back in, hop back if you want. Okay, so that was fun. That was the that's the first time I've ever tried that. Let's get Rich back. Hey, how's it going?
Good.
I was just explaining I got the blue screen of death.
Yeah, I saw you freeze, and I thought, oh, I'll keep talking until he comes back on, and then poof, you were gone completely. So I just kept rambling, talking about things you and I had talked about a little bit this morning, and talking a little bit more about the council idea. And your point being that real estate agents can come together, and there are associations. I mean, there's a restaurant association, there's a real estate Quincy Realtors Association, but really, as a council, what business coaches, or what I see people need, is to find people that don't do what they do. And so that's where some of those referral groups. And I was saying while you were out that I'm a trainer for a national sales company and for the state of Illinois. So I travel around a lot, all the way up to Chicago and down into St. Louis and stuff. And there's so many more BNI groups, meetup groups, things like that exist in some of those metro areas that we miss out on. But we don't need to have the BNI type of structure. And you just need to have good meetups. They call them coffee guys at the gas stations and at the McDonald's and things like that. They shoot the breeze and talk about life. And if you can just find people like, and trust that you can spend time with, that's important.
Yeah. I think it's a huge deal. Just look for people who know something that you don't, or who you just enjoy being with, but you think they're smarter than you, because you're rewarded for that, because they will help you. And they'll be happy to join, because if you get a lot of really great people together, they'll benefit from that as well. So
can I offer a suggestion in that too, for absolutely. people like me that have maybe too big of an ego sometimes? Find people and let them be smarter than you.
Sure.
Because you may think that you're finding those, and sometimes we think we're smarter. And when I learned long ago to be humble and take more of a back seat, it gave me the opportunity to hear and listen and improve a lot of my relationship skills. So one of the things you and I were talking about this morning was the personal development, using people like John Maxwell and Brian Tracy and Jim Rohn and all these different educators that can make us better. And that's one of the things that's important, is learning more and more about how to be the right person.
Yeah. And that was one of the things that I jotted down, is sharpen the saw. That's one of the Covey things, right? Yeah. And so sharpen the saw, read books. If you got some downtime, read some books. Audible.com is amazing. You can listen to that like forever. Whenever you're driving around, I always listen to that. But I've read some really amazing books. We were talking about this one this morning. Everyone Communicates, Few Connect, by John Maxwell. And that has, I'm right in the middle of that one. That's a really good one. And it's helping me, because just like us talking right now, there's a huge difference between communicating, and you just said, let other people be smart. I've learned to listen, because I already know what I know. So why do I keep regurgitating that, just so that everybody thinks I'm amazing? Or why do I need to hear myself talk? And so I really have been focused on trying to learn about other people and keeping my mouth shut. And that's part of what I've been doing in the videos too, is really trying to connect everybody with the business owners, instead of, oh, there goes my green screen. I think I'm going to be plagued with all kinds of issues today. I'm trying to be cool and it's not working. Oh, well.
Learning that technology as we go, right?
Yeah, that's right. Try new things.
Yeah.
Crucial Conversations by Carrie Patterson. That was awesome. I don't know if you've ever read that. That is
I have not.
Oh my goodness. It's an amazing book, talking about how to keep a safe space especially now as people are trapped in their homes, so to speak. If somebody begins to get defensive, it's because that safe space is gone. And
Sure.
it talks about that. Really amazing. Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. I just finished that book. He's the FBI's leading hostage negotiator for years and years and years. He wrote and teaches the book at Quantico. And that's an awesome book. I've started using that in my day-to-day. It's saved my clients thousands of dollars. And especially like right now, tips and tricks for business owners. There may be some things you need to be negotiating for your business, and whether it's the price of this, price of that, whatever it is, paying your rent, I don't know, but there's got to be a lot of those things. That book is probably going to save or keep thousands of dollars in your pocket. Success Principles by Jack Canfield. I mean, he was a speaker. I think you were there a year or so ago when I was there, maybe 2 years ago. Yep. What a fantastic speaker. And to find out, like some of these things are setbacks for us right now with what's going on. But that guy, he and his business partner, I don't remember how many times they went out to different publishers or how many times they were rejected. It was like 18 months, and they were rejected, was it 70 or 90 publishers? It was crazy.
It was over 50 times that they had been told no, and not only no, but don't bring it back.
Yeah. And like, how many publishers can there be? At some point you run out.
And then they went on to, out of that Chicken Soup series, they've sold over 270 million books now.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to retry that one?
Yeah, no kidding, right? You just got to keep going. I mean, Colonel Sanders did that with his chicken recipe.
Sure.
Relentless recently by Tim Grover. He's the one who coached Kobe, the late Kobe Bryant. Michael Jordan started with him, et cetera, et cetera. And just talking about those guys, taking it to the last 0.001% and how they would just push to that. And anyway, just some really cool things. I really like kind of my takeaways, what you were talking about, networking, counsel for small businesses, get a mentor, get a coach. I mean, you can help people in that respect.
Sure.
Chamber, referral groups, trying new things. I mean, we're trying something new and it bombed. I thought I had a really good computer. Blue screen of death. It goes, right? And I'm like, oh no, what's going on? First time I try this. So we've got that.
Jeremy, just to kind of put a cap on it,
sure.
what most business owners have taught me through the process of coaching them is that when you identify a problem and you can be the solution, business is easy.
Yeah.
That's kind of what you're doing with the idea with, the restaurants, how to reach out and help people. And the idea is to help people, and you're genuine in what you're trying to do. You're creating a great community resource for people now to not only see the food and see where it's at, but to know that businesses exist, right? Mm-hmm. And the fallback for you is from marketing is that people remember Jeremy Farlow. And so when they get to think of something, it's like, who would we contact? Well, it's the first person that comes to mind is a guy that helps everybody. This guy wants to help me. And that's absolutely why we want to do things for the right reason, in the right context. But then it comes back to us and helps us.
Mm-hmm. I had no idea what the response would be. I've shared my origin story before, and I probably do one with Consuelo at Maya. But her response when I was there, how appreciative she was on my very first time out, got me hooked. And so, man, this is really cool. And that goes back to like one of the points I was thinking of originally when we first started talking is, touching people. Pick up the phone and check in with people. How can you help? If you're not working right now, what are some things you can do? Do you know any elderly people who are stuck in their home? Maybe go pick up sticks or mow their grass. I mean, just simple things. Be a community, help out. And that's kind of where I was ending with all of those things. But I think there are a lot.
That's where business grows, is out of a need, right? So we all have over the last few years heard of Uber and the taxi process. We've heard of Airbnb and the hotel process. But how many people knew that DoorDash or Grubhub existed? How many people knew that Instacart existed? And you didn't have to rely on just the grocery store. You could use these apps, these different millennial-based app-centered economy processes and still live comfortably. Now we can protect our most vulnerable people because Instacart allows us to. And it's just people thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Yeah. It's pretty cool where there's a need, we can be innovative.
Right.
I have made significant changes to my business that I think would have eventually happened, but they've just been fast forwarded because I was heavy into video before this whole shutdown thing came. I was really starting to push it and move it, but this is really taking me to another level. Like trying this thing that crashed on me. I have no idea why my computer crashed, but I'll have to figure that out before the next one.
Yeah.
So, Rich, I really
appreciate the opportunity to be part of your experiment, and it means a lot for your friendship and for what you do, and to be able to share in any of that is a great praise for you and help to me.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you giving me a shot at this experiment. I don't know if anybody's actually watched it, but it's been fun.
Oh, it's good. It's good stuff. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thanks so much, Rich. Have a great day.
All right. Yep. Talk to you soon. Thank you.
Bye.